Sydney Prescott is no longer Prescott, but Evans. She lives with her police officer husband and their 3 children in the town of Pine Grove. But the past refuses to let her go. Out of nowhere, she receives a video call and is stunned to see that the person on the other end is an older Stu, one of the 2 killers from the original Scream. Stu promises he'll come after her eldest daughter, Tatum. And although Sydney is certain she killed him years ago, one thing is clear: she's in danger again. And this time, her family is too. Creators of popular franchises are often criticized for straying from the formula and trying to take the story in a new direction. But there's nothing worse than living in the past. Without evolution, there's no future. Scream illustrates this perfectly. The series has stalled before, but each time the filmmakers injected fresh blood, updating not just locations and characters, but also themes. Scream 7 is the weakest entry in the franchise because its creator Kevin Williamson abandons any creative exploration and clings to the roots. Yet he has nothing new to add beyond a weary, nostalgic sigh of, "Those were the days." The 2 previous installments, written by James Vanderbilt and Guy Busick, had their flaws, but they adapted the series for a new generation and genuinely tried to find their own voice. The legacy characters still had an important place, but it wasn't their story. They served as a bridge between past and future. In Scream 7, Williamson flips that dynamic. The old characters take center stage, while survivors from the more recent films are reduced to cameo appearances. Pure fan service that has no real impact on the plot. Williamson mirrors everything he can in Scream 7. The film essentially reverses the events of the first movie, beginning with murders at Stu Macher's house and ending with a scene where a victim is tied to a chair by the pool. Sydney's daughter is named after the character played by Rose McGowan in the original, and the mysterious killer may in fact be Stu himself, the same man who once tormented Sydney. The opening scene meticulously recreates the finale of the first Scream, down to individual shots, angles, and gestures. Williamson seems to believe that we, like his characters, are still living in 1996, thrilled every time a familiar name or iconic moment is referenced. He assumes we remember every twist of the early films and proudly indulges in this nostalgia. Tatum has a boyfriend who behaves exactly like Billy, Sydney's boyfriend from the original. Could he be the killer? Of course, you might say. That's too obvious, and it already happened in Scream 2. But what if the film knows you'll think that, so he is the killer? Or maybe it knows you'll expect that, so it subverts you again? Williamson isn't trying to invent new ideas or structures. He stubbornly rearranges the same old building blocks, failing to realize that every possible combination was exhausted long before Scream 7. The film's biggest problem, however, is that it never answers a simple question. Why does this installment exist? What does it add to the franchise? The characters discuss the same themes, make the same choices, and go through the same motions we've already seen multiple times. It's a film about nothing and no one. On top of that, Scream 7 is technically underwhelming. Williamson is a strong screenwriter, but a weak director. None of the murder scenes land in terms of suspense, emotion, or that overwhelming sense of dread that defined the best moments of earlier films. They're also undermined by his tendency to play with audience expectations, leaving just enough ambiguity to make you wonder whether a character is really dead or if it's another fake-out. It doesn't work. Nearly every blow feels half-hearted. At the box office, Scream 7 performed impressively, earning $63 million in its opening weekend, a franchise record, and ultimately becoming its highest-grossing entry. But that success is misleading. It says more about how well the previous films revitalized the brand than about the quality of this one. In long-running franchises, a film's box office often reflects the strength of its predecessor. The true significance of Scream 7 will only become clear when the 8th installment, already in development, hits theaters. And chances are, its numbers won't make producers nearly as happy, especially if Williamson, still at the helm, fails to learn from his mistakes.